Hello, and welcome to today's teaching. We hope it's a blessing for you. Here is Pastor Joe.
Welcome back. We want to continue our teaching on getting free, and today we want to look at fear of rejection. Now, that may sound interesting that you fear rejection, but I mean, it really is. There's a fear of rejection. I want to read to you about what we've been talking about rejection, and rejection and the approval. I mean, that's really the basis of approval is you've been rejected. And that rejection, as we said earlier, starts at home. And when it starts at home, then we're going to talk about this at some other date. But actually what happens is it starts an orphan spirit. And you are always trying to find that approval, that love that an orphan's looking for. And we're not going to get into all that today because I've already been asked to do a teaching on that, so we'll do that some other time. But just know that the basis of what we're going through and all this really is rooted in an orphan spirit. And so today we're not going to talk about that, but that is what's something for the future. But I want to look today at getting past rejection and the fear of rejection. I want to read to you from the book. Says that the fear of rejection is often worse than actual rejection. Think about that. The fear of it is actually worse than the actual rejection itself. Fearing rejection all the time is more tormenting than just dealing with it on the occasion when it does occur. So what they're saying here is that dealing with the fear of rejection, dealing with that all the time is actually worse than when you are rejected. Fearing it certainly won't prevent it and may actually open the door to it. 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment." See, when you have fear, church, you live in torment. And it doesn't, and here in this case, we're talking about fear of rejection. And being afraid that you're going to be rejected brings torment into your life, because everything you do is based around the fact that you don't want people to reject you. You don't want people to not like you, not approve of you. We're going to touch on this just a little bit here, but one of the greatest fears that most people have, a lot of people have, is the fear of loneliness. And that fear of loneliness drives people. I mean, it drives people from one marriage to another. It drives people from one relationship to another. It drives people from one friendship to another. I mean, you don't want to be alone, and so you'll do whatever that has to come so that you don't, so you won't be alone. And again, it goes back to being an orphan, feeling like an orphan. And again, I don't want to get into all of that today. I guess this is kind of a precursor to it. But walking in that fear brings torment, because the moment you don't sense that people like you, obviously you start feeling that rejection. But to think that if I do this or do that, they're not going to like me, that right there brings a lot of torment. One of the things I've heard people say, and I'm sure you have too, is if you really knew me, you wouldn't like me. That statement is really a statement of a dead man. I mean, seriously, dead people. That's a dead man's thought. Why? Because Jesus would never think that about himself, nor does he ever think that about you. You see, we live in that fear of being rejected for people finding out about who the dead man is, the things in our past, the guilt, the shame, all these things that we've talked about. That's what causes fear of people, of not telling people who we really are, not stepping out and showing who we really are. We talked about this before, but again, that fear of loneliness, that fear of being rejected, all that fear brings torment. And church, let me tell you something. Inside of you is the one who has perfect love. The perfect love lives on the inside of you, and he is able, willing and able, to set you free today from that torment. Again, it's going to him and saying, this is who I am. Be upfront, be honest with him. Like I shared with you before, whenever I realized that my problem of badgering my wife was simply because I had to make sure that she was all right with me, because my identity and my behavior were one and the same in my mind. And so whenever it came down to realizing that that's not true, that my identity was in Christ and my behavior may reflect Christ, and sometimes it may not. But the reality is it doesn't change who I am, my identity. And so once I got set free in that area and began to walk in freedom, it changed everything. Churches say do the same for you. If there's an area in your life that God's been showing you, that you've been these teachings have been showing you about approval of any kind, trying to gain man's approval of any way, shape, form, fashion. If you're trying to do that, church, He can and will set you free. I'm not special from the standpoint of different from other people. No, I'm just like anybody else. But I'm special as far as He sees me, and you're special as He sees you. We're all special in His eyes. He sees us all as special. He sees us all as His loving children that He cares so much about. And so I say that to say, church, listen to me. If you want to be set free, go to Him. Tell Him, like I did. I just said, I don't know who I am. I have no idea who I am. Lord, I don't know. I see that. I thought I did, but I don't. So today I'm asking you to show me who I am, Lord. And He said, we'll learn together. And I just started crying, just started weeping, knowing that He was going to show me who I am. And that don't mean that sometimes I don't fall back into a spirit of stupid, or act totally out of behavior of who I am in Christ. But that doesn't stop my relationship. Come on, church. Nothing's going to stop that. My identity is fixed in Him. And that's why today I'm saying we need to press past fear of rejection. Get past this thing, because He can and will set you free from it. He wants to. He's in you to do it. All you got to do is say, I'm ready. I need help, and do it. I don't need help. I guess that's not the way to say it. No, Lord, I realize my dead man is walking and he needs to get back in that grave. And so today I just want you to know, church, He loves you because He loves you, and He'll set you free. All you got to do is ask. He's there to do it. Till next time, be blessed. I want to thank you for watching today. I hope that we were a blessing. If we were, then please leave a comment or call the number listed below. Until next time, always remember, God's grace is bigger than your sin. Have a good day.